I just want to make sure that I have this whole thing straight. So, 2 years ago, we go out to go get Derek Carr in free agency, right? He plays the season. It's not, he's hurt, whatever. We don't make the playoffs, cool. He comes back the next season, has 2 games of greatness, gets injured, and then he doesn't play for the rest of the year. In the drafts, we don't get Shador, and we draft Tyler Show. And so now QB room at the time is Derek Carr, Spencer Rattler, Tyler Show, and Jake Haener. As of literally 2 hours ago, maybe 3, Derek Carr announces that he's retiring because of a shoulder injury at 34 years old. It's like I'm trying to figure out how to feel. I mean, obviously for me, it's like, cool, I don't got to see him in the Saints uniform anymore, but it's like, dude, if this was going to happen, one would ask, why in the world will we go out and get him in the first place? Like, he's 34. He's 34. He's 34. Out of all the quarterbacks that were available during that free agency period, we circled the I's, dotted the T's with Derek Carr. I mean, and I'm not sitting up here saying that Derek Carr, by all means is trash. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and act like that, because when he was on the Raiders, he was nice. When he was on the Raiders, he was cold. But when he was wearing the Saints jersey, he was garbage. He was trash. We have no playoff appearances with Derek Carr. I have not seen a playoff since Drew Brees. I have not seen a playoff since Drew Brees, man. And it's like, to make matters worse about this whole situation, it's like, when we got Derek Carr signed a lucrative contract. Like, he's getting a lot of money. Even with him retiring, like, the Saints still owe Derek Carr a lot of money. Yes, that frees them up from being in, like, cap purgatory, but it's like, we still owe Derek Carr a whole lot of money. We do. So it's like, if this was going to happen after 2 years of being in the Saints uniform, one would ask the major question, why in the world would we go out and go get an aging quarterback like Derek Carr in the first place? So now it's like, I don't even know where we go from here, man. It's real talk. Because Tyler Show, the whole idea was that although Carr wasn't going to be playing next year, Carr could still be in the Saints locker room, helping out. But now Show literally has all the pressure in the world, because there's between him, Rattler, and Haener, it's open season for who's going to be the starting quarterback. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there right now. New Orleans Saints, let's just not waste anybody's time. Let's just go ahead and put out a thank you for an outstanding season post right now. I don't even need to see the schedule release. I don't even need to see who we play this year. Let's go ahead and put out the thank you for an outstanding season. We'll catch you next year, Saints Nation. We're not doing anything this year. Oh my gosh, this is going to look like a rough year. This will be a rough year, man. I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, I'm cool. I'm happy that Carr's not playing, but it's like, this should have happened like a year or so ago, man. This should have happened a year or so ago. But yeah, to Derek Carr's credit though, man, shout out to, congrats on a solid career. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Showtime.
Bro, Chris Paul has better handles than AI.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Brand new episode here of the Young Bulls podcast. We're in a whole different area of the crib, but Still, it's going to be a brand new episode here of the Young Bulls Podcast, man. Again, each episode is sponsored by Legacy Jersey Shops. If you guys love premium soccer jerseys, make sure you guys go to Legacy Jersey Shops. Get yourself a nice soccer jersey. I have mine. Got my Vinicius jersey. So why don't you get a jersey? Go ahead and go to the Legacy Jersey Shop to get another one. Also, it's sponsored by YBPod.com. Everything Young Bulls Podcast all in one place. YBPod.com, where you can go check out everything for Young Bulls Podcast related. But yeah, man, happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good Mother's Day. Before we even get started, I just want to say shout out to my mom. Appreciate you for being my number one fan. Love you very much. Can't wait to be home. But yeah, we guys had a good weekend. There was a lot of sports this weekend. There's a lot of sports. We had a lot of UFC. We had, obviously we had 15 MLB games on Saturday. We had the playoffs happen. We had a lot of good basketball, but we also in the process had a lot of blowouts. Yes, a lot of blowouts. And speaking of blowouts, I feel like that, as we start off this Monday, a lot of people are, reeling from Sunday's action. Let's go ahead and go to the Sunday game that I watched, the second Sunday game, because, man, that was something. I'm just going to give preface, right? I'm going to give preface. I watched the first game. I watched the Thunder Nuggets game. Shout out to the Thunder for winning that one. Series tied 2-2. We'll get to that in a second. But in between that game and the second game that came on, I took a nap. Took a nap and I went to go get some food and everything like that. Tell me why when I come back to turn the game on, it's like, at this point, it's like towards halftime. So I'm turning on the TV to just see what the score and everything is. And I see it's 39-80, Indiana. Immediately, I'm like, whoa, like, what's going on? What's going on? Turns out that the Pacers went on a 19-2 run, if I'm not mistaken. They went on a 19-2 run in 3 minutes, and they just never looked back. They went on a 9-0 run, and then they went on a 19-2 run, and just never looked back. And it just caused a complete blowout to happen. Darius Garland was the only Cleveland Cavalier that had 20-plus points. Donovan Mitchell got injured. He said he'll be straight for Tuesday's game, but he got injured. He shot 27% from the field, which honestly, if you look at Donovan Mitchell throughout this whole series, I don't blame him for this loss one bit. He's literally given everything he's had to, the Cavs in this playoff series. Jared Allen only having 2 points and 2 rebounds, though, is not going to help anybody win a game. Max Strus, 11-6, and Mobley, 10-5. That's no. Jerome off the bench with only 7 points. No. It's not helping at all. People are saying that this year's Cavs team is looking like the 2015 Hawks. And if you remember the 2015 Hawks were a team in which all their starters were named to the All-Star team. They were a 60-win team all throughout the regular season. They go to the playoffs. They're hooping, doing whatever, yada, yada. Then they see the Cavs, and the Cavs sweep them in the conference finals. Yes, this is the second round, but either way, being down 3-1 without Bron in your corner is never a good thing. And it's even harder to come back 3-1 again with Bron not in your corner. I said this before last week, and I'll say it again. In order for this series to be a tight series, the Cavs were supposed to go into Indiana and win 2 out of 2. They're supposed to win 2 games. So now they're relying on themselves to win at home, to come back to Indiana to hopefully win that. And it makes it such a harder task. Halliburton, again, you look at Halliburton in this game, he had 11-5. He's due to have another monster game. Siakam and Turner both had 20 each. Miles Turner was hooping this game. Was doing step-back threes and ones, all of that. Didn't even know that was in his bag, but it was. Nembhard, 7 points, 7 assists, and Obi Toppin had 20 points off the bench. The biggest thing here is this. If the Cavs lose this series, are we brushing the 60 wins, brushing the 60-win season just out the window? I mean, obviously, you look at this Cavs team, like I said last week, when they went on their tear that they did in the regular season, there was a lot of eyes on this team. there's a lot of eyes. Many people were saying this is a championship team. They were getting a lot more TV time, all this. And I don't know, just having this happen to you in the second round is not a good feeling at all. And definitely to a team like the Pacers, it makes it even worse. Especially in a season in which Boston doesn't look like a threat. The Bucks are already out the playoffs. The East, like I said, is very wide open, which is why in a sec I'm going to get to the Knicks and talk about why it's so important for them to take care of business in their series. But the East is completely wide open. Literally, there is no clear-cut favorite on who can come out the East right now. And the craziest thing about it is that the Pacers is looking like, from what I've been seeing, the clear-cut favorite of a team that could possibly represent the East in the finals. And I don't think that's crazy to say that at all. I don't think it's crazy to say that one bit. But yeah, the real thing is whether or not Donovan Mitchell and company is going to be able to weather the storm and show some fight in this series, because I don't know what's worse. Getting blown out is one thing, but being down 39-80 and only putting up 39 points in 2 quarters of play is absolutely horrendous, man. It's absolutely horrendous. Like the Cavs put up, I'm looking at the box score like from quarter by quarter. First quarter 23-38, right? Cavs put up 23 points, Pacers put up 38. It's already a red flag right there. Then we go to the second quarter. The Cavs put up 16 points in that quarter alone to the Pacers 42. And you expect to come back from that? Like, seriously, like, you go into the locker room. Like, how do you adjust your team being down 39-80 in a pivotal game? What was this, game four? Game four. Like, in a pivotal game 4, like, what do you what do you say to your team at half? All right, guys, bring it in. Let's just keep fighting out there. Let's just keep doing what we've been doing, because it's obviously working. Cavs on 3. All right, let's go back out there. Like, seriously, like, what do you say to your team being down 39-8? There's a lot of things you can't say. You can't say you've been putting in fight, because it's you guys are down by a vast amount of points. Like, seriously, it's just one of those things where it's like you just have to tell them to just play into the whistle and just have them go out on the court. Or honestly, just lock the locker room up, because what's the point? You guys didn't come to play at all. But yeah, so again, game 5 on Wednesday is going to be Wednesday or Tuesday. Game 5, I think it's on Wednesday. Game 5 on Wednesday is going to be real interesting, man. It's going to be a real interesting game, and just the Cavs show some fight. I'll be surprised if the Pacers close it out in Cleveland. That would be like a shock to me. I don't expect the Pacers to win Game 5. I think that the Cavs will win that game, and then the Pacers will just close it out in Indiana. But if this series somehow, some way goes 7 and the Pacers blow this will be like a terrible, terrible collapse, man. But I mean, only time will tell. But what it's looking like right now, let's just go ahead and put the whole, if I'm the Cavs, just put the whole "thank you fans for an outstanding season" post up. Go ahead and have that ready for social media. Because me personally, I feel like the series is a wrap. Pacers, even in the game that they lost on Friday, I still believe that like the Pacers are still going to win the game in Indiana, and the series is going to ultimately take its course with the Pacers being on top. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about this series. Honestly, I had this series going 7. After what happened last night, it's over. It's done. It's done for. That's pretty much what I had to say about that series alone. Yeah. Also, too, low key, I will say this: if Donovan Mitchell doesn't get to a conference finals, if I'm Donovan Mitchell, do I start to look for ways to get out of Cleveland? Now, I don't remember if it was this year in particular, or if it was 2023 when he signed with the Cavs. But you got to think, you look at his Cavs record, Donovan Mitchell has either been out in the first round or he has been out in the second round. He has not gone to a conference finals. And he's been hooping. So if they go another season, especially with the season they had this year, and nothing comes from it, there's going to be a lot of change happening in Cleveland. Has to. Because you just don't have a 60-plus win season and then go from that to being down 3-1 to a team that, I mean, yes, it's the Pacers. We talked about the Mario Kart analogy last episode, but come on. Like, but getting blown out like that in Indiana too, like that's not good at all. But we'll keep an eye on the series. Next episode, depending on what happens with this series, I'm going to have a Cavs fan on. I'm going to have my boy Kadar on, just talking about it. Definitely want to hear his ideas about it. And my man's Cole, too. But we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see how this series turns out. And whether or not the Cavs show fight or the Pacers just go ahead and put the nail in the coffin. And that's that with this series. But speaking of NBA games from last night, the other game, the earlier game, the much closer game that I wanted to get to was the Nuggets and the Thunder. Nuggets and Thunder, mind you, heading into Sunday's action. You know, Nuggets were up 2-1. Obviously, last week I talked about how Denver in the playoffs, you know, you're playing in front of the fans, the altitude. You know, Game 4 was going to be a pivotal game. Game 4 was going to be a pivotal game. That's a make or break series, you know, defining game, especially for OKC. And they delivered. It wasn't pretty at all. It was not pretty at all. But they won the game, you know, 92-87. Shea with 25, 6 and 6. Jalen Williams with 10 points. Wiggins and Case and Wallins with 10 each. Caruso with 10 points. But really, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, the thing that killed the Nuggets in this game was their shooting, man. I'm looking at these percentages right now, as I got it right next to me. But the first thing that jumps out to me was Michael Porter shot 1 for 7 from the field, and he did not make a three once in that game. Michael Porter shot 1 for 7 from the field and did not make a three once in that game. He finished with 3 points. He finished 0 for 5 from 3. So he finished with 3 points and 9 boards. Christian Braun has 17, but he shot 4 from 11 from the field. Jokic shot 7 for 22, had 27 points. Murray had 17. Westbrook shot 2 for 12 with 6 points. The only person on the Nuggets that had a halfway decent game, who, when I'm looking at the stats, was the only person to shoot over 50%, was Aaron Gordon, Nuggets playoff legend, who had 15 and 16. But, you know, just looking at the Nuggets side of things, I feel like that's what really killed them. I saw a stat that said Westbrook was, like, the way he was playing yesterday was bad. And, man, these percentages do not do it justice at all. Obviously, I feel like this was a game where the Nuggets definitely should have had. I mean, considering how just literally you look at the stats, like this game was very tight and Nuggets just had a chance to take a 3-1 lead, just slip away. So now, obviously, the series is going back to Oklahoma City. The main thing is this. If I'm the Thunder, I'm feeding off that home court. I'm using this game as a pedestal for these next 2 games because obviously you're going to have to come back to Denver. Obviously, you're going to have to come back and try to close out the series depending on whether or not you guys win in Oklahoma City. But Oklahoma City is going to be rocking on Wednesday, I believe. I think that's when they play again, it's Wednesday. So to them, SGA is going to show up, but Jalen Williams needs to have a game in order for them to keep this series in their favor. The bench is doing their thing, but just more production from the bench. But really, I feel like it's going to be the second and third option that's going to need to show up for the Thunder. There's going to needs to be an unsung hero for the Thunder outside of Shea to really put this series to bed for the Nuggets and have the Thunder come out on top. Looking on the Nuggets side of things, man, they just need to be consistent. I mean, again, Jokic had 40 points in game 1. Jokic had 40 points in game 1. I believe had 17 in game 2. Game 3, I believe he had 20. And in game 4, he has 27. There needs to be some sort of level of consistency with their play. Obviously, if you've seen Jokic and Murray throughout, playoff history and stuff like that, you've seen it in some points, but in other points, you don't. I mean, more specifically, you look at their series last year with the T-Wolves. The beginning of the series, they were not on track. They weren't doing their thing, but they flipped the switch. And although they lost the series, the way they performed towards the latter part of it was one of desperation and urgency. And that's what the Nuggets are, I feel like they aren't playing with right now. And yes, it's tied 2-2, but heading into a pivotal game 5, that's going to really, obviously, one team's going to be up 3-2 after game 5, but, you go into a game 5 like that, it's going to be real important for these guys to play with a sense of urgency. Because literally from now on, then the mindset needs to be in that Nuggets locker room, this is basically an elimination game. We're playing for a chance to not only have the advantage, but to fight for another game. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Game 5 is going to be in OKC. Game 6 is going to be in Denver. And Game 7 is going to be in OKC. And then to Westbrook's point, I feel like his motivation literally should just be the ring. That's what it is. I mean, yes, he played poorly this game, but I feel like he's due to have a game where he's going to have a double-double or something like that. But for everybody else, man, in order for them to win the game, they need better shooting. And hopefully, this happens in game 5. I think what's going to end up happening, I feel like, and this is me here, I feel in my heart of hearts that the Nuggets are going to go into OKC and steal that game 5. And they're going to close it out game 6. That's what I feel. I feel like they can do it too. They've already won once in Oklahoma City in this series. They can definitely do it again. But we'll see, man. Only time will tell. But I talked about the idea of Murray showing up, and I talked about the idea of Shea and Jokic, this series basically seeing who the MVP is. That game 5 is going to really tell me who's the greatest player in the NBA right now, man. Because in this game 5, I'm looking at it right now. The way I see it is this. Jokic and Murray are going to do their thing. Most definitely. But it's ultimately going to fall on Jokic to have one of those games where we look at him like, yo, he basically put this team on their back and closed this thing out. These next 2 games are going to basically tell me where Jokic is at when it comes to whether or not he is the best player in the league or not, or that title is now going to Shea and the Thunder. Only time will tell, though. It's going to be for good basketball. Hopefully the series goes 7. I want it to go 7. A lot of people want to go 7. This has been probably one of the most entertaining series in the second round for me. So, yeah, just excited about that. But, yeah. So we talked about the Nuggets-Thunder series. We talked about the Pacers-Cavs series. Honestly, I was going to talk a little bit about the Warriors-Timberwolves series. But in all seriousness, I feel like that series itself, the game today, I believe it's today. Let's see. Yeah, the game today is, there's really not much else to say outside of the fact that this is a must-win game for the Warriors. Curry is now listed to not come back until Game 6. Obviously, he got injured in Game 1 of the series. And the Warriors let one slip away on Saturday. Jimmy Butler had a performance. He was hooping. But they need more production in order for them to win this game. That's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, if you're trying to get Curry back, you need to stretch this series out. 2-2 with a chance versus 3-1 with the series going back to Target Center in Minnesota. That's not good odds at all. So basically, the clear-cut message for the Warriors is to win tonight. And they need everybody in order for this to happen. On the Warriors side, that's pretty much it. But on the Timberwolves side, if you guys really want to get this series over with, you guys need to take care of business and win these two in Golden State. By no means can this series go to 6 or 7. Because if Curry comes back, it's over. If Curry comes back, I firmly believe that the Warriors are going to somehow, someway win this series. Even with Curry not at 100%. They're going to come back and they're going to win this series. It's definitely possible. It's definitely doable. This has happened before. If you look at a couple of years back, I believe this was back when I was in middle school, but the Warriors-Blazers series a couple of years back. Warriors-Blazers series, I remember, I think Curry got hurt in either Game 1 or Game 2. I think it was Game 1 or Game 2, one of the two. Blazers 1-1 in Golden State. They go back to Portland. They're up 2-1. Curry comes back for that Game 4. He has a performance on restricted minutes. He does the whole I'm here, I'm back thing. They split in Portland. Then they close the thing out, and the Warriors win. And 6. They go to the conference finals. It's happened before. If the Timberwolves leave the door open, it's going to happen again. They need to close this thing out with the level of urgency that if they don't, this series will be turned upside down and they will be sent home. All the pressures on, honestly, the pressure's not even on the Warriors to win. The pressure's on Minnesota because I guarantee you Chris Finch has probably already told them Curry is not slated back until Game 6. If you guys care about making it to the finals or care about making it to the conference finals itself, we need to close this series out. They have to go and win 3 games. We need to win 2. All we need to do is win 2 games, and these guys are gone. Do not let Steph Curry come back into this series and rejuvenize that locker room. We need to close things out as soon as possible. So, that's pretty much all there is to it for that series. But it's going to be interesting to see on the Warriors side who steps up. Buddy Hield needs to step up. He's been having a solid playoff, but we need more. Podziemski needs to step up. Seriously, he needs to step up. And yeah, so again, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting itself. But the series that I really, really want to talk about is this Boston-New York series. Obviously, the Knicks could have had a 3-0 lead. They get blown out at home. They get blown out at home on Saturday. It's what it is. They're still up 2-1. They're in the Garden. They're still home. Game 4 is tonight. But the thing that I'm thinking about right now, man, is what I said earlier in this episode. And that's the idea of basically the East being so wide open this year that it's a lot of teams' best chance at making it to the finals. And no team outside of the Pacers has a better shot at making some real noise than the Knicks. I've already explained in previous episodes how the Knicks have not made it to the conference finals in however long, I don't even remember. I have already stated how the Knicks have not seen a finals since the 90s. The Knicks have a perfect opportunity to do that. And all they need to do is take care of business for one game. It is so much easier to go back on the road with a 3-1 lead than going back with a 2-2 lead. And I cannot stress to you that this game 4 is practically, this needs to be treated like a game 7, respectfully. Like this, I know this is a game 4, but this needs to be treated like an elimination game for the Knicks. Because if the Celtics come back and win the Celtics come back and they tie the series up tonight, Boston's winning in 6. If the Celtics win this game tonight, the Knicks are not winning this series. And I know what you're saying, Dinari, the Knicks won 2 in Boston, they can do it again. No, not happening. Not happening. I said to my friend Tay, I said in order for the Knicks to win this series, if Boston wins 2 at Madison Square Garden, the Knicks are not winning this series. And mind you, from what I've seen from Tatum, he is due. And I'm not talking about, 20-point, 23-point game. He is due for a monster game. Him and Jaylen Brown are due for a signature playoff moment. And no better time for that to happen than in a game 4. Game 4 in the Garden. No better time. No better time. I saw a TikTok the other day, basically with this guy echoing the same thing I'm saying right now and saying that, you know how in movies, how they'll have that scene where like a character's in prison or in jail and the guard is, not being attentive and not paying attention to the guy in the cell. He either walks away or falls asleep and the keys are out and they can break out. The Celtics are asleep right now. They're sleeping giants right now. And the Knicks can easily escape. They can easily get out the cell and do everything they possibly can. And right now, with this series being 2-1, one of the eyes is starting to twitch and wake up. If both of those eyes wake up, them boys are done for. They're done for. Pritchard had 23 points off the bench the other day. Derek White had 17. When I was looking at the stats for the game, I saw a lot of pluses on the floor when it came to plus minuses. Everybody, they played a complete game last game. In order for the Knicks to win this game, in order for the Knicks to win this series, number one, I feel like this should be a most important thing. They need to stop playing from behind. They need to stop playing from behind. They need to have a statement game where they have the lead for the whole game and they take control. Game 1, they had a 20-point comeback. Game 2, they had a 20-point comeback. Game 3, I believe it was halftime. I sent the score into the group chat of my friends and they said, oh, we're a second half team. No. Y'all need to be a 48-minute team. Y'all need to be strong for 4 quarters. In order for them to actually win this series, there needs to be one game where they just take control for the whole game and they just do not let the lead up. Tonight will be a perfect night to show that if I'm the Knicks. And they just need more production. I mean, it's easier said than done for Brunson to have 30 plus a night. But Mikal Bridges needs to be hooping more. OG needs to be hooping more. Cat, the second unit, it just needs more production. More production for 48 minutes. But, I mean, really, on the Knicks side of things, literally, again, I'm just going to echo it. Don't blow this lead, man. Because if you guys don't make the finals this year, and I'm just going to say it bluntly, I don't think you guys are going to make the finals. If it doesn't happen this year, y'all not going to make it. And you have to remember, too, Brunson took a pay cut for better players to be, brought into this system, brought onto this team and everything like that. This is your best year to make any sort of noise past the second round. Do not blow it. Don't be one of those teams where it's like, oh, you look back on it a couple years and it's like, we should have won it all this year, man. I'm telling you. Please, don't blow this, man. Don't. Because this would be like I'm not going to lie, this would be an all-time collapse for you guys if you guys end up blowing this. But yeah, that's, again, Game 4 tonight, 7:30, ESPN. It's going to be exciting basketball. I'm definitely going to tune in for that game for sure. But yeah, it's going to be good basketball. I'm excited for it. We'll see what happens. I still believe that Boston's going to win in 6. So I'm just going to stick with that pick. Boston in 6. Do I think the series is going 7? No. But if the Knicks somehow win tonight, yeah, let's just say it, man. Boston in 7. But we'll see, though. We'll see. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about this new segment that I have where this is what we call it the wildest thing that I saw over the weekend. Now, obviously, I said that this weekend we had a lot of MLB baseball games. And we had a lot of MLB baseball games. We had, a lot of great performances. Shout out to my Dodgers, man. I'm pretty sure we won the series against the Diamondbacks. So shout out to them for that. But, man, there is one team in particular who had a very, very, very bad weekend. And the team in particular that I'm looking at right now, man, is the Colorado Rockies. Now, Colorado Rockies are in the same division as the Dodgers, Padres, Giants, and Diamondbacks. Everybody, those 4 teams that I just named, they're all 500 teams. They're great teams. They're competing for a division. Then you have the Rockies. Last time I checked, I'm pretty sure the Rockies have not reached 10 wins yet on the season. Yes, the Rockies are 7-33. Now, if we look at the standings, right, for the National League and the American League, that right now puts them at the worst record in baseball. We have been playing baseball for about a month now. Rockies have only won 7 games. And out of the 33 games they lost, this probably is the worst game of baseball that I've ever seen. To anyone who bought a ticket to this game on Saturday, I'm sorry. That must have been hard for you to watch. But the Padres came into town and they beat these boys by 3 touchdowns. Yes, the Rockies lost that game 21-0. Which, in baseball, 10 is usually like, if you beat a team 10-0, that's like, oh, that's a blowout. You know how bad you have to be to lose by 3 touchdowns in baseball? And mind you, baseball's a 9-inning sport. To lose 21-0, that takes intentionally, like, that's nuts, man. Then on top of that, the manager gets fired, which, in the grand scheme of things, one would ask, why would it take losing 21-0 for the manager to get fired when the team's only won 7 games? But the manager gets fired the next day. The Rockies have not sniffed the postseason since 2018, when somehow, some way, even just looking back on this, I laugh. But they had a NL West tiebreaker with the Dodgers, in which they lost the tiebreaker. So the Dodgers won the division. The Rockies won the playoff series against the Cubs. And then they got bounced out in the following series. Again, nuts. But before that, they were a team that was very mediocre. I mean, they had a lot of solid players come through that program, though. You look at Troy Tulowitzki, Carlos Gonzalez, Charlie Blackmon. Todd Helton. That's all I got. That's all I got. But man, I don't know how it's possible to lose by that much. But then also too, another thing that also like struck me too is that I totally forgot that Chris Bryant, former World Series champion for the Cubs, was on the Rockies. Which I don't know if he's still on there now, but one would ask, why the world would you go there out of all places? If you don't watch baseball, the Rockies are basically, in NBA terms, they're the Washington Wizards. Or one would say the Utah Jazz. They're a really bad team, a really bad organization. You think your team has it worse? Colorado, that's it. That's the worst it could possibly get. But yeah, I'm not gonna stick on this too long. But losing 21-0 to anybody, it's a humbling thing. And I talked earlier about how, the Pacers blowing out the Cavs, and if I'm a Cavs coach, what do I say at halftime to a team that's down 39-80? I don't know what I say to a locker room that loses 21-0 in a game at home. I mean, I guess getting blown out while you're on the road is one thing, but getting blown out at your home court, at your own field, that people come into the gates wearing your fans' stuff, your team's, jerseys and stuff like that, that's crazy work, man. Seriously, if you're a manager, what do you say in that situation? All right, guys, bring it in. A great effort today, man. There's a lot of fight. They just fought more than us. Duh, coach. Coach, we didn't put up any runs. I feel like the only thing that would have made this loss like 10 times worse is if they would have gotten no hit as well. Which now I'm curious about, so I'm about to check. Let's see. I'm looking at the box scores to this game. Not only did the Rockies have, they get shut out, which in baseball, like that's bad too. Like a no-hitter is bad, but getting shut out is also bad as well, especially by this amount. Not only did they get shut out, but the Padres put up runs in every single inning in this game except for the 7th inning and the 9th inning for obvious reasons. The Padres finished with 24 hits, and the Rockies only had 5 hits in the whole game. Oh my gosh. And everybody on the Padres got a hit too. Or got on base. Everybody on the Padres got on base. Oh my gosh. No, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is not good. This is actually bad, man. Only one pitcher on the Rockies pitching staff, or only one, no, my fault. Only one pitcher on the Rockies, in the Rockies bullpen, had 0 earned runs and 0 hits while playing in that game. And the pitcher who pitched the most innings in the game, Bradley Blaylock, gave up 13 hits, 12 earned runs, 2 walks, and only 1 strikeout. So, yeah, obviously a solid pitching performance by the Rockies, and that's in that regard. That's bad, man. That's bad. Yeah, there's really nothing else. There's really nothing else I got. Just the idea of just playing, just asking your dad to go to a baseball game or something like that, and being like, Yeah, I'm seeing the Rockies for the Padres today. And you're excited. It's your first game. I'm walking into the stadium and you're thinking, like, oh, like, the Rockies going to win today. Like, I'm excited. Yada, yada. Like, do you even stay for that? Like, imagine you're a parent and you're taking your son to a game. You take him to that one. And they lose 21-0. Like, what do you even do after that, man? Do you stay for the whole game? No, forget about that. Imagine you paid premium money for like seats at a Rockies game. Like you're sitting like great seats, like not even like in the suites, but like lower level. Like you spent mad bread on the seats, and they're getting blown out like that. I would be sick. I would be completely sick. Like we're losing 21-0. I spent like what? Like, but in situations like that, I feel like for baseball, it'll be a whole lot easier if there is a mercy rule intact. It doesn't take you 9 innings to figure out that your team's not going to come back from being down 21-0. I feel like this game should stop once it got to like maybe 13 or 14, honestly. I mean, 21, that just feels like roadkill. I mean, shout out to the Rockies. I mean, they won Sunday. But it's like, who cares, It's the Rockies. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the Padres won the series, too. I'll be surprised if yeah. the Rockies failed to, they failed to win the series. But even looking at it with the Padres put up 13 runs in the first game, put up 21 in the second. I mean, they put up 3 runs in the rubber match of the series after already winning the series. So it's like, cool, I guess, but the damage has already been done. And manager's gone too, so I mean, for the Rockies, I don't know where you guys go from here. Obviously, again, losing by 3 touchdowns is not a pretty feeling. And it's very clear we will not be seeing them play in October anytime soon. Probably not until like I'm 30 or something, in all seriousness. They've just been bad for a minute. But moving on, man, the last thing I want to get to in this episode, obviously, not only do we have NBA action today, we have the draft lottery taking place today. Obviously, for me, I'm a Sixers fan. So, obviously, this season we've been, for what it's worth, horrible, right? Horrible, right? I don't really tune into the draft lottery like that because it's like, why would I if my team, hasn't been in a minute? But this year, I'm tuned in to the max because not only is there a prospect of us getting Cooper Flag, but with us getting a top 6 pick, we keep it. If we do not have a pick that falls into the top 6 and it is outside of that, that pick goes to OKC. Right now, as I'm looking at the odds right now, we have a 10.5% chance of getting Cooper Flag or going, for him to come to Philly. The teams with the highest odds are the Hornets, Jazz, and the Wizards, followed by the Pelicans, followed by the Sixers. After us is Brooklyn, Toronto, the Spurs, Rockets, Blazers, Mavs, Bulls, Kings. Basketball guys, I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much from you. But there's one thing that I need from you. It's the Sixers to somehow, some way, get something right and get a solid pick in this draft lottery. If we can't get number 1, give us number 3. I beg. Give us 2, I beg. Cooper Flag. I can just picture Tyrese Maxey and Flag pick and rolls. Jared McCain Cooper Flag, Maxey, big threes, man. I can picture that. Cooper Flag is a tough white boy. Philly's whole identity is being a tough blue-collar city. This is a match made in heaven. Please come here. Change the trajectory of this organization. We're done with the process. We're done with that. Flag. Have that flag stand high at Wells Fargo. Please, man. Please. I beg. I beg. I beg. If we somehow win the draft lottery and Cooper Flag becomes a Sixer, I may shed a tear. I may shed a tear. I may actually shed a tear, man. That'll make me excited to go to Sixers games next season. Please. I beg, man. I beg. I would totally be okay with us not making the playoffs next year if we have Cooper Flag, Tyrese Maxey, and Jared McCann on my team next year. Forget about Paul George. Forget about Embiid. I don't care. As long as we got Flag on the roster, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. In a week where I saw Derek Carr retire, which makes me even more mad about Shador. Basketball guys, give me Cooper Flag. I'm not going to lie to you, like, not even looking at it just for the Sixers aspect, but just for teams, like, if you've seen Cooper Flag hoop, he is the clear-cut number one. He is the clear-cut number one. There was arguments at the beginning of the year about people saying that Cooper Flag, he doesn't have more upside than Ace Bailey and all this other stuff, to which I said, you're tripping. You're drunk. Cooper Flag is the best prospect in this year's draft. If I'm building a team, Cooper Flag is the person I'm building the team around. I'm pretty sure if any one of these teams I just named had the number one pick, it's very clear that they're going for Cooper Flag. Very clear. The sweepstakes are real. I mean, you saw how people were going crazy for Zion, man. I remember that like it was yesterday. Usually in the draft lottery, too, there's teams that have missed big. You take the Knicks a couple years back with the whole Zion sweepstakes and how they were literally, I believe, a pick away from getting Zion. I think the Knicks had the second pick in that year's draft. You saw how mad people were getting in New York about not having a chance at Zion and having to settle with RJ Barrett? Just saying. So the draft lottery is going to be an important watch tonight. I'm definitely going to be tuned in. I'm excited for it. I hope if we win oh my gosh. Sixers win the draft lottery, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. Actually may shed a tear. Like this is a franchise, league shaking lottery. The Sixers somehow, some way get Cooper Flag at number one. You know how much trouble the league's going to be in next year? Like, I don't think you understand. If the Sixers get Cooper Flag in this year's, they win the draft lottery, they get the number one pick. Just listen to the starting five and tell me this doesn't scream NBA championship. Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Paul George, Cooper Flag, Joel Embiid. And then coming off the bench, Quentin Grimes, Lonnie Walker, Adem Bona, like, dude. Do we still have Eric Gordon? I believe we still do have. Let me see if we still have Eric Gordon. I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be cool if we do. I mean, it's not gonna really be much for him to. I guess we do. Or we don't. I'm so confused. No, we do. We do have Eric Gordon still. I mean, we're not gonna really need him. I mean, I've seen enough Eric Gordon. He could just be a veteran presence. And we still have Kyle Lowry too. But yeah. Like that doesn't scream like at least a conference finals berth to you. Plus the last number one pick that we had. The last top 3 pick that we had was Embiid. Or no, I'm tripping. Last top 3 pick that we had was Markelle Fultz. We whiffed on that one. We are due to having a solid pick in this year's draft. After everything that we went through this season, injuries, the Embiid thing, Paul George happening, our best rookie, who would have won Rookie of the Year by a long shot, by the way, getting injured, our team not even having an identity by like February. We went from a team that could possibly have made the play-in to a team that had no play-in in their future. Give us Cooper Flag, man. Give this team, give the city something to be excited for heading into next season. Because I'm telling you, if we somehow, someway don't end up getting a top 6 pick, and we have to run it back with the same team next year, dude, that Wells Fargo Center is going to be empty, bro. I, for one, am going to be excited about the prospect of having $6 tickets again like we had this year towards February. But then I look at it too like this. You know, my man's Jalen, he's been on an episode before. Shout out to Jalen. He basically said if Cooper Flag comes to DC, like, they're going to be nice. And I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to name the starting 5 right now. Poole, Carrington, Sarr, Flag, George. I'm not going to lie to you. In an East that is so wide open, that's not a bad lineup. I mean, I'm looking at the lottery right now, and I'm looking at the odds. The only teams that I don't want to see Cooper Flag on, looking at this, is the Hornets, the Jazz, definitely the Pelicans. That would be gross. The Raptors. Nothing against the Raptors. It's just I don't want to see the Raptors win. Shout out to my boy Chris. Low key, if the Spurs get him and Wemby would be nice. And knowing that Popovich has stepped down from that head coaching role and he's the GM, like that with De'Aaron Fox too, that would be kind of scary. Blazers, no. Free Anthony Simons. Mavs, definitely not. Bulls, disgusting. Kings, no. Honestly, any team that's not the Wizards, Sixers, or Spurs, I'm cool with not getting Cooper Flag. But hopefully the basketball gods heard me, so there should be no confusion why Cooper Flag and the Sixers should not have a holy matrimony, and we see Cooper Flag doing windmills in the Wells Fargo Center as a Sixer next year. Also, too, just the prospect of people wearing Flag jerseys. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Young Bulls podcast. You know, hopefully all that praying worked out. The draft lottery is tonight, too. I believe that's at... Let's see what time the draft lottery is. Yep, draft lottery is tonight at 7. So right before the first game of the doubleheader. But hopefully things work out for the Sixers, man. We'll see. That's going to do it for this episode of the Young Bulls podcast, man. As always, thank you guys for checking in. Thank you guys for tuning into this first episode this week. We're going to get you guys another one probably in between the playoff games that happen this week. Thank you guys again. Thank you to the sponsor Legacy Jersey Shops. Make sure you guys continue showing them love as well, man. They have a lot of good quality jerseys, and all they need is just more customers to, cop them. So make sure you guys continue to show love to Legacy Jersey Shops, and help them do their thing over there. And go check out ybpod.com. Everything you need. Young Bulls Podcast slated all in one place. Merch is on the way. Thank you guys for tuning in to Young Bulls Podcast. As always, peace and love to all of you. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode. Probably Wednesday or Thursday. Hold me to Thursday. Don't hold me to Wednesday. We'll see. But yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Peace.